I had an argument with my daughter, and she hit me. The next morning, I invited her to breakfast at a café, hoping to make up with her. She just smiled and said, "Finally, you admit you were wrong." But as soon as we went inside and she saw who was waiting for us, her smile disappeared. Before we continue, please subscribe to the channel and let us know where you are listening in the comments. The papers hit the dining table with a slap that made the water glasses jump. I watched them scatter across the mahogany, the same table where I'd taught my daughter to eat with a fork, where we'd celebrated her 16th birthday, where her mother and I had shared 1,000 quiet dinners. Now, Fern stood across from it, her face flushed red, jabbing her finger at the documents like they were evidence in a murder trial. "Just sign them, Dad. It's not that complicated." Her voice had that edge I'd come to know too well over the past 6 months, the tone she used when explaining something to a particularly slow child. Behind her, Jasper leaned against the kitchen doorway with his arms crossed, wearing that smug little smile he thought made him look like a successful businessman instead of a used car salesman who'd married up. I picked up one of the papers. Authorization to list property, my property. The house on Bayshore Drive that I'd bought in 1989 with money earned dodging claws and teaching behaviors most people couldn't spell. 36 years of mortgage payments, of repairs, of memories soaked into every board. "No." The word landed between us like a stone in still water. "No?" Fern's voice climbed an octave. "What do you mean, no?" "I mean no. I'm not signing anything." Jasper pushed off from the doorway. "Come on, Tad. Be reasonable. You don't need all this space. We're trying to help you." I don't recall asking for help or inviting you to move in. Yet, here we are. Fern's hands hit the table. "You're being ridiculous. This house is falling apart. You can barely climb the stairs with your arthritis. My arthritis is fine, and I climbed into cages with 400-pound cats for 25 years. I think I can manage 14 steps. That's exactly the problem. You think you're still 30 years old? You're not. I'm aware. 68 last month. You forgot to call." Her face went redder. Jasper moved closer, tried the soft approach. "We worry about you, Tad. Living alone at your age, in a house this size. What if something happens? Then I'll handle it, like I've handled everything else in my life without your input. We're your family. We're supposed to take care of each other." I looked at her, really looked at her. "Funny. Taking care looks different than I remember." "You're being selfish," her voice cracked. "You're holding on to this old shack because you're stubborn and stupid, and this conversation is over. I'd like you both to leave." "You selfish old man," she was screaming now, face purple. "We're your family. This is our inheritance." There it is. The slap came fast. Her palm connected with my jaw hard enough to snap my head sideways. The sting bloomed immediate and hot. For 3 seconds, nobody moved. Then Jasper grabbed her arm. "Jesus, Fern, come on, we're leaving." Fern stood breathing hard, staring at her own hand like it belonged to someone else. He pushed me to..." I touched my jaw carefully. The skin was already swelling. "I think you should go now." Jasper pulled her toward the door. "This isn't over, Tad." I met his eyes. "No, it's really not." The door slammed. I stood alone in my dining room, hand on my jaw, tasting copper where I'd bitten my cheek. I walked to the bathroom, turned on the light. The bruise was already forming, dark red, spreading toward purple. I'd seen worse. Tigers left bigger marks, but tigers were honest about what they were. I touched the bruise gently, documenting, analyzing. Then, slowly, a smile spread across my face. Not a warm smile. The kind of smile a tiger might make before it stops playing with its food. "Big mistake, princess." I pulled out my phone, opened contacts. My thumb hovered over a name, Dr. Lemuel Sims, Sacred Heart Medical. 8:47 p.m. Late, but Lem owed me a favor from the old circus days. The call connected on the second ring. "Tad, that you? It's late, brother." "Lem," I interrupted, voice steady. "I need you to document an injury, tonight, and I need it official." Silence on the line, then, "What kind of injury?" I touched my jaw again, watching the bruise darken in real time. The kind that changes everything. The call with Lemuel continued as I walked to my car. Keys in hand, engine starting, backing out of the driveway. "Tad, you still there? Talk to me. What happened?" "My daughter hit me, across the face, hard enough to leave a mark." Pause. Fern? Your Fern? That's the problem, Lem. I don't think she's been my Fern for a while now. I put the phone on speaker, set it in the cup holder. The drive to Sacred Heart took 20 minutes through empty Sarasota streets. Tuesday night, most decent people were home. I'll meet you at urgent care, Lem said. 20 minutes. Thank you. The medical center's parking lot was half empty. Fluorescent lights buzzed overhead. Inside smelled like antiseptic and bad coffee. Lem waited by the intake desk, still in his street clothes, jeans, button-down shirt, white coat thrown over it. We'd known each other 30 years. He'd been an acrobat before medical school, understood the circus life, the calculated risks, the difference between getting hurt and getting injured. He took one look at my face. Jesus, Tad. It looks worse than it feels. That's not the point. He guided me to an exam room. Sit. Let me see. His hands were gentle, professional. Turning my head, checking the jawline, the cheekbone. A nurse appeared. Tracy, her name tag said. Middle-aged, kind eyes, night shift exhaustion in her posture. Sir, I couldn't help overhearing. Someone hit you? It's complicated. No, sir, it's assault. Was it your son-in-law? I met her eyes. My daughter. The silence that followed had weight. Tracy's expression shifted. Sympathy mixed with something else. Understanding, maybe. I'm sorry, that's... How old is she? 37. Old enough to know better. Lem applied ice to my jaw, took photographs from multiple angles. Digital camera, time-stamped, uploaded directly to my medical record. Definite contusion, swelling here and here, open-handed strike. Yes, slap, full force. Jesus, Tad, I'm sorry, I have to ask. Do you want to file a police report? Not yet, but I want everything documented, official, time-stamped. Understanding dawned in his expression. You're building a case. I'm protecting myself. There's a difference. Tracy brought more ice, asked questions about who did this, offered domestic violence resources. Her kindness made my chest tight. Strangers cared more than my own daughter. While we waited for the swelling to stabilize, a memory hit without warning. 6 months ago. Fern at my door with suitcases and Jasper behind her. Dad, Jasper lost his job. We need a place to stay, just temporarily. A month, maybe 2. Of course, sweetheart. Stay as long as you need. She'd hugged me then. Thank you, Daddy. I knew I could count on you. That was the last time she called me Daddy. After that, it was Dad, then Dad with a sigh, then Dad with contempt. All done, Lem said, pulling me back to present. You have official documentation, medical photos, my signature, everything you need if this goes legal. Thank you. Tad, be careful. Daughters who hit fathers once can hit them twice. I left the medical center at midnight, sat in my car in the parking lot, staring at my phone. I needed to act, not react. Needed to think like the behaviorist I used to be. I opened my text messages, typed carefully. Let's meet at Rosemary's Café tomorrow, 10 a.m. I need to talk. I've been thinking about everything. Sent it to Fern. An hour passed. I made coffee at home, sat on my back porch watching the bay water, dark and still. My phone buzzed, 12:53 a.m. Finally, I knew you'd come around. You were being stubborn, but I knew you'd see reason. 10 a.m. works. Don't be late. I read it twice. The smiley face emoji, the assumption, the certainty that I'd surrendered. Oh, sweetheart, you have no idea what you've walked into. At 5:30 a.m., I made another call. Darlene Wolf, child psychologist, old colleague from my practice days. She answered sleepy and irritated. This better be important, Tad. It's not even 6. Darlene, I need your help. Professional capacity. Her voice sharpened. What kind of professional? This sounds serious. I need a child psychologist to assess a domestic violence situation. You're not a child, Tad. What's going on? I need documentation that shows pattern of behavior, history, psychological factors. Can you meet me at Rosemary's Café this morning, 9:30? Who hit you? I paused. Someone who forgot I spent 25 years reading behavioral cues in predators. Dawn broke over Sarasota Bay. I sat with fresh coffee, watching pelicans dive for fish. My phone sat on the table beside the medical envelope. Photos, reports, official documentation of what my daughter had done. I picked up the phone one more time. Scrolled through contacts, stopped on another name, Francine Torres, FL Dept, of Children and Families. My finger hovered over the call button. A pelican surfaced with a fish. Another pelican immediately attacked, trying to steal the catch. Brief, vicious battle. The first pelican won, flew off. The attacker returned to the water, empty-beaked. Behavioral conditioning, I murmured. Consequences teach faster than words ever could. I pressed the call button. The phone rang once, twice. Francine Torres, DCF. Who's calling? I watched another pelican dive. Francine, this is Thaddeus Hawkins. We worked together on the Patterson case in 2019. I need to report a domestic violence incident. Pause. I'm the victim. Silence on the other end. Then, Mr. Hawkins, are you in immediate danger? No, but my daughter is about to be. The parking lot at Rosemary's Café was half empty at 9:15 a.m. My Camry slid into a spot near the front entrance. Habit from 12 years of Sunday breakfasts here. The morning sun hit the large windows just right, turning them into mirrors. I could see my reflection getting out of the car. The bruise had faded to yellow-green, almost pretty in a sickening way. Inside smelled like fresh pastries and coffee. Maria looked up from behind the counter, smiled. Mr. Hawkins, your usual table? The corner one, if it's available, expecting company. Her smile widened. The ladies already arrived. I gave them the spot you like. Darlene and Francine sat with coffee cups and manila folders, professional, prepared. They'd arrived separately, Francine 20 minutes ago, Darlene 15. I'd coordinated this at dawn, 3 calls before the sun cleared the horizon. I pulled out the chair facing the entrance. Thank you both for coming. Darlene studied me over her reading glasses, short, gray-streaked hair, leather portfolio open in front of her. Tad, I need to be clear. I'm here as a professional observer, not your advocate. I document what I see. That's exactly what I need. Objective assessment. Francine tapped her pen against her notepad. Latina, early 40s, no-nonsense suit. And you understand I'm required to investigate this fully? That includes interviewing her, your son, possibly neighbors. I'm counting on it. I don't want favors. I want documentation. Darlene leaned back. You've thought this through. This is strategic. I trained predators for 25 years, Darlene. I understand behavioral conditioning. Fear is the strongest motivator. She made a note. Francine pulled out a digital recorder, set it on the table between us. Walk us through the approach, Francine said. I checked my watch. 9:23 a.m. 37 minutes until Fern arrived. She expects reconciliation, private conversation, maybe some tears, then I cave and sign whatever papers she wants. I slid the medical envelope across the table. Instead, she gets this. Official, documented, witnessed by 2 professionals she can't intimidate or manipulate. Darlene opened the envelope. Her expression didn't change, but her breathing did. Medical photos have that effect. Jesus, Tad! That's what her hand looked like at 70 miles per hour. I'm lucky it wasn't closed. Francine studied the photos methodically. Time-stamped, physician signature, multiple angles. She looked up. You documenting abuse or building a legal case? Both. Most victims don't think this clearly, she said. Most victims aren't behavioral psychologists who spent 2 decades reading body language and creatures that would eat them if they missed a signal. Darlene set down her coffee. Are you using your professional knowledge to manipulate the system? I met her eyes. I'm using my professional knowledge to document abuse and protect myself. If that's manipulation, then yes. Silence. Maria brought more coffee, reading the room, saying nothing. Approach, I continued. Darlene leads with psychological assessment questions. Francine documents facts. I present evidence but don't argue or defend. The goal is observing Fern's unfiltered response. If she lawyers up immediately, Darlene started. She won't. She doesn't think she did anything wrong yet. In her mind, I'm the problem. Francine activated her recorder. Then let's see if you're right. At 10:03 a.m., Fern walked through the door. She wore designer yoga pants, visible label, $300 sneakers. Her smile died the second she saw the table set up. 2 professional women, my calm expression, the manila folder. Dad, I'm so glad you... She stopped. Who are these people? What's going on? Good morning, Fern. Please sit down. I asked you a question. Her voice climbed an octave. This is Dr. Darlene Wolfe, a child psychologist, and Francine Torres from the Department of Children and Families. Her face went white. Actually white. DCF? Why would... Dad, what is this? It's an official meeting. Please sit. She remained standing. Her hands started trembling. I'd seen this before, in big cats, just before they decided whether to attack or flee. Darlene spoke, tone professional and neutral. Ms. Bradley, we're here to discuss an incident that occurred 2 nights ago at your father's residence. I don't understand. Dad, tell them this is a mistake. Francine's pen moved across her notepad. Every reaction, every word. Ms. Bradley, please answer the question. Were you at your father's house on the evening of the incident? Yes, but we had an argument. Families argue. This is ridiculous. I slid the medical report across the table. The photos landed face up, time stamped, Sacred Heart Medical Center, Dr. Lemuel Sims's signature in blue ink. This is my medical documentation, photographed, signed, official. Fern stared at the images. Her breathing changed, short, rapid. You went to a hospital? You documented? Ms. Bradley, Darlene's voice cut through. Did you strike your father? He was being impossible. We just needed him to be reasonable. That's not an answer. Francine didn't look up from her notes. Did you physically strike him? It was barely, he provoked me. I kept my voice quiet, calm. I asked you to leave my house. That's provocation? Her hands shook worse now. She grabbed the back of the chair but didn't sit. This is insane. You're making this into something it wasn't. Dad, please, tell them I didn't mean... Darlene made another note. Ms. Bradley, you're exhibiting signs of acute anxiety. Have you experienced panic attacks before? Fern stepped back from the table. I'm not answering any more questions. This is harassment. She turned, literally ran out of Rosemary's Café. The door slammed hard enough to rattle the windows. Maria looked over from the counter, concern creasing her face. Francine closed her notebook slowly. That was illuminating. The immediate admission, the justification, the panic response. Classic pattern. Darlene removed her glasses. Inability to accept responsibility, victim-blaming language, emotional dysregulation. I sipped my coffee, still hot. Maria made excellent coffee. So, what happens next? I complete my investigation, interview witnesses, review documentation, then I file my report. And if your report concludes this was legitimate domestic violence, Francine met my eyes. Then we recommend appropriate interventions, counseling, possibly a restraining order if you request one. I'll think about it. Darlene studied me. Tad, this is just the beginning, isn't it? You have more planned. I watched a young family enter the cafe. Mother, father, 2 small children. The little girl skipped ahead, pigtails bouncing. Maybe 6 years old. Behaviorism 101, Darlene. One conditioning session doesn't change behavior. You need consistent escalating consequences. She packed her portfolio, said nothing. They left separately, professional boundaries maintained. I ordered another coffee and a blueberry scone. Maria brought them personally. On the house, Mr. Hawkins. You look like you need something sweet after that. I smiled. Thank you, Maria. After 25 years handling angry tigers, I'd finally met something more dangerous. An entitled daughter with a credit card and no conscience. The scone was excellent, though. I walked to my Camry 20 minutes later. The sun climbed higher, burning off morning clouds. Florida autumn, which meant slightly less oppressive heat. My phone buzzed. Text message. Unknown number. You think you're clever, old man? We'll see. Not Fern's number. Jasper. I read it twice. Then opened my photo gallery, scrolled to an album labeled Home Security Sept. 19 video files. Hidden cameras installed 3 months ago when they moved in. Every room except bathrooms. All legal. My house, my cameras, my right. I'd reviewed them last night while waiting for dawn. Video file number Lesvin played on my phone screen. Jasper in the guest bedroom, pacing. Phone pressed to his ear. No, I told you. The old man will sign eventually. He has to. We'll get the money, I promise. Pause. I know I owe you, Carl. I know. Just give me 2 more weeks. I saved the file to a separate folder, labeled it insurance. My phone rang. Wesley's face filled the screen. Dad, did it work? Did she show up? I watched the family leave Rosemary's. The little girl clutched a cookie bigger than her head, chocolate already smeared across her cheek. Her father laughed, lifted her onto his shoulders. It worked. And, Wesley, I need to ask you something. Am I going too far? Silence stretched across 3 time zones. Then his voice came back, firm. Did she apologize? No. Then you haven't gone far enough. I closed my eyes, opened them. Wesley, I need you to send me something. Those financial statements from Mom's estate. The ones showing the college fund I set up for Fern's future kids. The one with $150,000? Why? Because I just realized Fern doesn't know it exists, but Jasper might. Dad, what are you... A text notification interrupted, this time from Fern's number. How could you do this to me? To your own daughter? I'll never forgive you. I stared at the message, scrolled up to my medical photos, the bruise, the swelling, her handprint on my face. I typed, I'm sorry you feel that way. Deleted it, tried again. See you soon, sweetheart. Sent it. Another text immediately. Jasper again. You're going to regret this. I started the car, pulled out of the parking lot. My rearview mirror caught something, a black Audi parked 3 rows back. Jasper's car. He'd been watching Fern run out, watching me, now watching me leave. The Audi pulled out, followed. I smiled, adjusted my mirror, drove toward Ringling Boulevard. The police station sat just past the intersection. I had an appointment with Lemuel there in 15 minutes, filing an official report. Let Jasper follow. Let him see where this was going. Behavioral conditioning, I murmured, watching the Audi maintain exactly 3 car lengths behind me. You're learning, boy, just not the lesson you think. The Sarasota Police Department squatted on Ringling Boulevard like a concrete fortress. I pulled into visitor parking at 11:17 a.m. The black Audi rolled past slowly, Jasper's face visible through the windshield. He kept driving, parked across the street, smart enough not to follow me inside. I'd give him that much credit. Lemuel waited in the lobby, medical bag at his feet. He stood when I entered, concern etched deep. You sure about this, Tad? Too late for second thoughts. Officer Clayton Briggs met us in a small conference room. 45, maybe older. Tired eyes, domestic violence unit. The cases that ground you down over years. He spread my medical photos across the table methodically. Mr. Hawkins, why did you wait 2 days to file this report? I wanted to be sure about what I was doing, and I wanted professional documentation first. Professional documentation? He looked up. You mean the DCF investigation? Lemuel interjected before I could answer. Officer, I treated Mr. Hawkins at Sacred Heart. The injury was consistent with significant force. He was processing the shock of it being his daughter. Briggs studied the photos longer, made notes. Domestic violence between adult family members is still assault. You understand you can request a restraining order? Not yet. I need to know what happens next. Process-wise. His pen stopped moving. Most victims want protection immediately. You're different. I spent 25 years training animals to modify their behavior. I understand consequences take time to work. Something shifted in his expression. Recognition? Suspicion? Hard to tell. I'll file this officially. Generate a case number. An investigator will follow up within 72 hours. He slid a form across the table. Sign here, here, and here. I signed. Lemuel witnessed. Briggs stamped everything with practiced efficiency. Mr. Hawkins, be careful. People who plan this methodically sometimes forget the other side can plan too. I met his eyes. I'm counting on it. Outside, the Audi was gone. I drove home slowly, checking mirrors. No tail. Jasper had seen enough, apparently. The police station visit had communicated what I needed it to communicate. My house appeared at noon exactly. Fern's Honda sat in the driveway. She'd driven straight here after fleeing Rosemary's. Made sense. Where else would she go? I parked down the street, pulled out my phone, opened the security app. The living room camera showed both of them. Fern on the couch, Jasper pacing. His mouth moved rapidly. Even without audio, his body language screamed anger. I tapped the audio icon, crystal clear. Could you be so stupid? You hit him? In front of witnesses, Fern's voice came thick with tears. You're the one who kept pushing. Every day, sign the papers, convince your dad, we need the money. I didn't tell you to assault him. Jesus, Fern, do you understand what this means? DCF, police reports. He was being impossible. He wouldn't listen. Jasper stopped pacing. His face filled the camera frame. Because it's his house. We've been living here rent-free for 6 months while we figured things out. While you what, Jasper? Fern stood suddenly. While you lost your job and never told me? While you racked up debt I'm just now finding out about? His voice dropped, dangerous quiet. Watch it, Fern. We're in this together, remember? If I go down, you go down. There it was. The threat underneath the partnership. She wasn't a co-conspirator. She was a hostage. I started the screen recording feature, saved the entire argument to my phone, then uploaded it to cloud storage. Evidence, documentation, insurance. My phone rang. Wesley again? Dad, you ambushed her with DCF? That's intense. She hit me, Wesley. What was I supposed to do? Let it go? No, absolutely not. You're being very strategic about this. It's not like you. I watched Jasper pull Fern into a hug on screen, comforting her, playing the supportive husband. Maybe it is like me. You never saw me work with the cats. Patient, methodical, always 3 moves ahead. Those were animals, Dad. This is Fern. The words hit harder than I expected. Is it? The Fern I knew wouldn't have done this. Wesley sighed across 3,000 miles. Fair point. What do you need from me? Support. And, Wesley, am I doing this for justice or just revenge? Does it matter? She hasn't apologized. She hasn't shown any remorse. She's still living in your house expecting you to fix this for her. So revenge is okay? Accountability is okay. Call it whatever makes you sleep at night. We talked another 10 minutes. He'd send the estate documents tomorrow, express mail. Everything I needed to know about the college fund I'd established, $150,000 in a trust for Fern's future children, money she'd never mentioned to Jasper, money Jasper probably didn't know existed. After hanging up, I sat in the car, watched the security feed. Fern cried on the couch. Jasper made calls in the guest bedroom. Life continued inside my house while I observed from outside like a ghost. A memory hit without warning. 30 years ago. This same driveway. Small pink bicycle, training wheels freshly removed. 8-year-old Fern in pigtails, gripping the handlebars like they might escape. Daddy, I'm scared. What if I fall? Then you fall, and you get back up. That's how learning works, princess. But what if I can't do it? You can. I've watched you practice. You're ready, but you have to decide to trust yourself. Think it through carefully, like we talked about. Then commit. She'd ridden that day, wobbly at first, then stronger. Her laughter when she realized she was doing it, pure joy. I did it! Daddy, I did it! I knew you would. I'm proud of you, sweetheart. That phrase. Think it through carefully, like we talked about. I'd said it 1,000 times. Homework, college choices, job decisions, our phrase. Present-day me sat staring at my adult daughter crying on my couch, and the question hit hard. Am I letting her fall now, or pushing her? The doubt lasted maybe 90 seconds. Then I remembered the slap, the casual dismissal. He provoked me. I opened my laptop, created a new Gmail account, eldercare.advice, tausifs25@gmail.com. Anonymous, helpful, untraceable. Composed an email to Fern's address. I understand you're going through a difficult family situation. I recommend consulting with Marcus Reed, an attorney specializing in family law and domestic violence cases. This is a serious situation that requires professional guidance. Think it through carefully, like we talked about, and make the decision that protects your future. I stared at it, almost deleted it. That phrase again, automatic, unconscious. 40 years of fatherhood coded into my fingers. But the medical photos were still on my phone, the bruise still yellow-green on my jaw. I hit send. An hour later, my phone rang. Fern's number. Dad, I need to ask you something. What is it? Are you the one who sent me that email about the attorney? My stomach dropped. What email? Fern, I've been dealing with police reports and DCF. I don't have time for... It used our phrase, the one you always said. Think it through carefully, like we talked about. Nobody else says that. Amateur mistake, rookie error, emotional interference with strategy. Fern, that's a common expression. Lots of people, no, it's not. It's your phrase. Her voice cracked. Oh my God, you're orchestrating all of this. The DCF, the police. You planned this. Fern, you hit me. I documented it. That's not orchestration, that's self-protection. I don't believe you. I don't know who you are anymore. The words hung between us. Then I said quietly, I could say the same thing, sweetheart. She hung up. I switched back to the security feed. Jasper stood behind Fern now, hands on her shoulders, whispering, too quiet for the microphone, but I could read his lips. If the old man wants war, we'll give him war. I have a plan. Evening crawled in. I stayed in the car, watching the feed until my phone battery hit 20%. Jasper made 3 more calls. Fern sat motionless on the couch for 2 hours. At 8:00 p.m., an email notification appeared. Reply to my anonymous account from jbradley20gmail.com. We know who you are, and if you think you can intimidate us into leaving, you're wrong. I've already consulted with an attorney about conservatorship proceedings. Your bizarre behavior, the surveillance, the manipulation, the paranoia, it all points to cognitive decline. By the time we're done, you won't be competent to sign your own checks, let alone make decisions about your property. Enjoy your little games while you can. J. Conservatorship. Mental incompetence. They were going to try having me declared unfit. I should have been angry, scared even. Instead, I felt educated. Now I knew their strategy. I forwarded the email to my personal account. Screenshot. Evidence file growing larger by the hour. Then I scrolled through contacts. Stopped on a name I hadn't called in 7 years. Florence Dunn, Esquire, elder law attorney. She'd handled my wife's estate. Smart, expensive, worth every penny. 8:47 p.m. Too late for business calls. I called anyway. 4 rings. Thaddeus Hawkins, either someone died or you're in trouble. Which is it? Neither yet. But Florence, I need to hire you. Tonight, if possible. Tonight? Tad, I charge $450 an hour, and it's almost 9 p.m. on a Tuesday. I'm aware. I'll pay $900 for emergency consultation. Can you be at my house in an hour? Pause. That's not your house address showing on my caller ID. No, I'm parked down the street. The people trying to steal my house are currently inside it. Longer pause. Jesus, Tad, what have you gotten yourself into? I watched Jasper pace on screen. Honestly, Florence, I'm not entirely sure anymore, but I think I'm about to find out if a lifetime studying behavioral psychology was preparation or just expensive hobbies. 1 hour, and Tad, don't do anything stupid before I get there. The call ended. I kept watching the feed. Jasper stopped pacing suddenly, smiled, set down his phone, walked to Fern, kissed the top of her head, said something that made her look up hopefully. I couldn't hear it, but I read his lips clearly. It's going to be okay, I promise. I whispered to the empty car. No, it's really not. My phone buzzed, text from unknown number. 2847 Bayshore Drive. Nice security cameras. Did you know the one in the kitchen has a short? Keeps cutting out. Dangerous. Someone could get hurt and there'd be no footage. Just saying. My blood went cold. Jasper knew about the cameras. How long had he known? The phone rang at 9:03 a.m., unknown number. I answered expecting Jasper's voice. More threats, more desperate bargaining. Instead, Mr. Hawkins, this is Derek Walsh, private investigator. I sat straighter. The one Jasper hired. Yes, sir. I'm calling as a professional courtesy. I've been hired to conduct surveillance and background research on you. My findings will be delivered to my client by end of business today. Who hired you? Can't say. But I thought you'd want a heads up. The call ended. I stared at my coffee, suddenly tasting bitter. Background research, surveillance. They were digging into my past. And in my past, there was something they could find. By Tuesday p.m., I had my answer. Jasper and Fern appeared at my front door without knocking. They still had keys, still technically lived here. I was at the kitchen table when they walked in. Jasper carried a manila folder. His expression was pure triumph. Recognize these, Tad? He spread photographs across my table, time-stamped. Professional quality. November 2005. Me and Leona Pierce at Giovanni's restaurant. January 2006. Leaving the beachside inn together. March 2006. Holding hands in Selby Gardens. All dated 3 months before Sarah died. My face drained. Actually drained. I felt the blood leave my cheeks, my hands go cold. Where did you get these? Fern's voice shook. Is it true? You cheated on Mom while she was dying? It's not that simple, Jasper interrupted, practically purring. Looks pretty simple to me. Romantic dinners, hotel visits, hand-holding in public, all while your wife was in hospice care. She was already gone. The cancer had... She was alive! Fern's voice cracked. The death certificate says April 2006. These photos are from 3 months before. I couldn't argue, couldn't defend. The evidence sat in front of me, damning and true. Here's what's going to happen. Jasper leaned forward. You're going to drop the DCF investigation, drop the police report, sign the documents authorizing the house sale, and we're going to forget we ever saw these photos. And if I don't? Fern's tears made her mascara run. Then Wesley learns what kind of man his father really is. I stood. My hands shook. Genuine shock, genuine fear. Get out of my house. You have 24 hours to decide. Jasper collected the photos carefully, deliberately. After that, I'm calling your son myself. They left. I sat alone with my coffee going cold, staring at the table where the evidence had been. 20 years. I'd kept that secret for 20 years. I called Leona at 3:47 p.m. Her number hadn't changed. Thaddeus, it's been a long time. 20 years. You look well, Leona. We met at a neutral café, not Rosemary's, somewhere new, where nobody knew either of us. She was 71 now, gray hair elegant, still sharp-eyed. Someone dug up our past, photos, dates. They're using it as blackmail. She sighed, stirred her tea. Oh, Tad, I'm so sorry. Though honestly, I'm surprised it stayed buried this long. Do you regret it? What we did? She considered. Regret? No, it was complicated and messy and probably wrong by most people's standards. But you were drowning, and I cared about you. I still do. Sarah was dying. I shouldn't have... Sarah was already gone, Tad. The woman you married disappeared months before her body stopped. You know that. I know that. And according to what you told me then, she knew it too. Wesley doesn't know. If he finds out, then you tell him yourself, first, before they can weaponize it. Own your mistakes, Tad. That's the only way they lose their power. I drove home, called Wesley at 6:00 p.m., 3 hours. His time, still at work probably, but this couldn't wait. Wesley, I need to tell you something. It's about your mother, and me, and something I did 20 years ago. Dad, what's going on? The year before your mother died, I was seeing someone, another woman, a colleague. It was brief, but it happened while Mom was still alive. Long pause, then, Leona Pierce. My heart stopped. You knew? Dad, I was 14, not blind. I saw you leave the house at odd hours, saw you come back looking less destroyed. And Mom told me, near the end. She knew, she never said anything to me. She said you needed someone when she couldn't be there anymore. She said she wasn't angry, just sad that you felt you had to hide it. She forgave you, Dad. Before she died, she specifically told me, take care of your father. Don't judge him for trying to survive this. I couldn't speak. Tears, actual tears, first time in years, blurred the phone screen. I thought, all these years, I thought if you ever found out, I'd hate you? Dad, you sat by her bedside every single day for 18 months. You held her hand through every treatment. You were there when she took her last breath. 4 months with Leona doesn't erase that. It just means you're human. Jasper and Fern are threatening to tell you, as blackmail. His voice hardened. Then they just made a very stupid mistake. Dad, I'm flying down there tomorrow. This ends now. At 10:00 p.m., I found a manila envelope in my mailbox. No return address, no postage, hand-delivered. Inside, bank statements, Jasper's accounts. Casino Royale, Tampa, $5,000 withdrawn. Hard Rock, Hollywood, $12,000. Seminole Casino, $8,000. Over and over. 2 years of gambling losses totaling $180,000. A post-it note stuck to one page. Thought you might find this useful. A friend. I flipped to the last page. Loan agreement. Carl Mendez. I knew the name. Everyone in Sarasota did. Local loan shark, businessman, problem solver. Amount borrowed, $47,000. Interest, 15% monthly. Collateral listed, proceeds from 2847 Bayshore Drive property sale. My house. He'd borrowed against my house before he even owned it. I smiled for the first time all day. Oh, Jasper, you brilliant idiot. My phone buzzed, text from unknown number. Check the last page. I stared at the message. Someone was helping me. Someone with access to private financial records. Someone who knew exactly what I needed. But who? At 2:17 a.m., my phone rang. Fern's name. I let it ring 3 times before answering. Dad? Her voice was wrecked, sobbing. Dad, I found something. Bank statements. Jasper's accounts. There's gambling. So much gambling. Dad, we don't have any money. We never did. It's all gone. He lost everything. Are you looking at the statements now? Yes. Dad, there's a loan from someone named Carl Mendez for $47,000. It says the collateral is your house. Your house, Dad. How can he use your house as collateral? He can't. Not legally. That's fraud. Oh, God. Oh, God, what do we do? We don't do anything, Fern. You decide what you do. Do you stand by a man who gambled away your future and tried to steal mine? Or do you remember who you used to be? Silence. Then, I don't know who I am anymore. That's honest, at least. I'm so sorry, Dad, for hitting you, for the blackmail, for everything. I'm so sorry. 20 years of parenting, of teaching right from wrong, and now this, a broken woman apologizing at 2 a.m. Sorry isn't enough, Fern, but it's a start. What do I do? That's not my decision to make. But Fern, where's Jasper right now? He went out, around 11. He said he had to meet someone. He's not back yet. I sat up straighter. Did he say who? No, just that he'd fix everything, that he had a plan. Fern, I need you to do something. Lock your bedroom door, right now. And don't open it for Jasper when he gets back. What? Why? Because men with gambling debts and failed plans get desperate. And desperate men do desperate things. Dad, you're scaring me. Good. Fear keeps you alert. Lock the door, Fern. Call me when he gets back. Don't confront him tonight. I hung up. Dialed Florence immediately. She answered, groggy. Tad, it's 2 a.m. Jasper has a $47,000 loan from Carl Mendez with my house as fraudulent collateral. He left his wife alone at 11 p.m. after his blackmail attempt failed, and he told her he's fixing everything. Florence, what's he fixing? Silence. Then, wide awake. Oh, shit. Tad, where are you right now? Home, in my kitchen. Are your doors locked? Yes, but check them again. Now. Front, back, garage. I'm calling someone. I walked to my front door, checked the lock, peered through the window. Jasper's black Audi sat across the street. Lights off, engine off, someone in the driver's seat, watching my house. Florence, I said quietly, he's outside, right now. The car door opened at 2:33 a.m. Jasper got out slowly, stood in the street under the streetlight, looked directly at my kitchen window. We made eye contact across the distance. I walked outside, Glock in my jacket pocket, safety on, finger nowhere near trigger. Not stupid, just prepared. Stopped at the edge of my driveway, stayed on my property. Talk. We're both in trouble. You know it. I know it. I owe money to people you don't want to meet. You have legal cases that could drag on for years. We can hurt each other, or we can deal. You tried to blackmail me with my past. Why would I negotiate with you? Because Carl Mendez doesn't care about your past. He cares about getting paid. And if I don't pay him, he'll find other ways to collect, ways that involve your house burning down, or worse. You have 2 minutes. Use them wisely. Jasper stepped closer. Carl Mendez wants his money, $68,000 with interest. I have 1 week. Not my problem. It is if he decides to collect from my collateral, which is your house. Fraudulent collateral. You can't pledge property you don't own. You think Carl Mendez cares about legal technicalities? He cares about getting paid. So pay him. He laughed, bitter and broken. With what? You think I have $68,000 sitting around? I lost everything, old man. Everything. The only thing between me and broken legs is selling this house. Then I suggest you find another way to make money, perhaps a job?" He stepped closer still. "This is your last chance to deal. We can all walk away from this. You drop the legal cases, we sign the papers quietly. House sells, I pay Carl, everyone survives. And if I don't deal, then we all go down. You, me, Fern. And honestly, at this point, I'm fine with that. Get off my property, Jasper. And if I see you lurking outside my house again, I'm calling the police. You should have dealt." He walked back to his Audi, drove away. I watched until the taillights disappeared, then went inside and called Florence. At 7 a.m. Thursday morning, I sat in her office. She had already prepared emergency restraining order paperwork. "This is actionable fraud." She tapped the Carl Mendez loan document. "Jasper listed your property as collateral without your knowledge or consent. Can we use it?" "Absolutely. Emergency restraining order, immediate eviction, possibly criminal charges if you want to push it." "How fast can you file?" "I can have papers ready in 90 minutes. Deputy can serve them by 10 a.m. "Do it." She hesitated. "Tad, I need to ask. This Carl Mendez situation, these are dangerous people. Have you considered your physical safety?" "I've considered it. And I spent 25 years with animals that could kill me in 3 seconds. Carl Mendez doesn't scare me more than a Siberian tiger with a bad mood." "Tigers don't have guns." "Neither do I." The lie tasted metallic. Glock currently in my car's glove box. "Please be careful. Winning a legal battle doesn't matter if you're not alive to enjoy it." By noon, I'd made another call. Tobias Ward answered at the Herald Tribune. "Tad Hawkins, haven't seen you in, 15 years? 17, since you covered the Circus Fire story." "Right, hell of a story. What brings you to me now?" "I have information about gambling addiction in local families. Thought it might interest you for your investigative series." We met at his office. I gave him anonymized details, no names, but $180,000 lost over 2 years. Specific casinos, local loan shark involvement, real numbers, real consequences. Tobias read through everything twice. "Jesus, this is actually a good story." "You're sure about these numbers?" "I have documentation. I'll run it, Thursday afternoon edition." The article published at 2 p.m. The Hidden Cost: How Gambling Addiction Destroys Florida Families. Tobias had added context I hadn't provided. Mention of domestic violence reports, DCF investigations. Enough detail that anyone who knew Jasper would recognize him. My phone rang at 2:47 p.m. Florence. "Tad, did you tell Tobias about the DCF case?" "No. Why?" "Because it's in the article, which means Jasper can connect you to the piece. We need damage control." Too late. At 3:00 p.m., I finalized another transaction. Purchased Fern's $230,000 in boutique debt for $138,000. The creditors practically threw a party. "Mr. Hawkins, you're a lifesaver." I didn't mention I was saving myself, or that I now owned my daughter's financial future like a particularly morbid inheritance. She'd wanted to steal my house. I'd bought her debts. We were both collectors now. At 6 p.m., my security cameras caught Fern and Jasper's argument. I was parked 3 blocks away, watching on my phone. "My friend just called. She read about you in the newspaper." Fern's voice hit soprano levels. $180,000 in gambling losses. "Local loan sharks. Jasper, everyone knows. It's anonymous. They didn't use names. The casinos are named. The time frame matches. Anyone who knows us will figure it out." Jasper paced like a caged animal. Actually, tigers paced better. More grace, less panic. "I didn't agree to this." Fern stood suddenly. "I didn't agree to gamble away our lives." "You agreed when you married me, for better or worse, remember? This isn't worse. This is disaster. This is ruination." His voice dropped, dangerous quiet. "You want to leave? Fine, leave. But remember, you're in this as deep as I am. You hit your father. You tried to blackmail him. You're not innocent here, Fern. Are you threatening me? I'm reminding you that we're partners, and partners don't abandon ship. This ship is sinking. Then we drown together." Fern started packing. Jasper returned an hour later, disheveled and wild-eyed. "What are you doing?" "I'm leaving. This is over." He crossed the room, grabbed her wrist. You're not going anywhere. Let go of me. We had a deal. Partners, remember? You gambled away everything. You lied about... He slapped her, not hard, but sharp enough to shock them both. Fern touched her cheek, staring. You just hit me. She ran, grabbed her suitcase out the door, into her car. Gone in 30 seconds. Jasper stood in the driveway watching, then looked up at my security camera, walked directly to it, stared into the lens, mouthed clearly. I know you're watching. I called 911 immediately. 20 minutes later, Jasper found my old baseball bat in the hall closet, walked back to the living room camera, raised it, swung, the feed went black. At 8:47 p.m., I sat in the police station. Detective Sarah Chen reviewed my footage. Mr. Hawkins, we have a problem. Jasper Bradley is gone. His vehicle isn't at your residence, and given the Carl Mendez situation, she trailed off meaningfully. What are you saying? I'm saying we've issued a warrant, but until we find him, you need to be careful. I drove home at 9:30 p.m., checked all locks, made coffee, sat at the kitchen table reviewing remaining camera feeds. Everything looked normal. My phone rang. Unknown number. Mr. Hawkins, not Jasper's voice, deeper, accented. My name is Carl Mendez. I believe we have a mutual problem. My blood went cold. I don't know what you're talking about. Jasper Bradley, $68,000 in debt. Your house listed as collateral on paperwork I'm looking at right now. That's fraudulent. I never authorized. I don't care about authorized, Mr. Hawkins. I care about collateral. And right now, you're sitting in my collateral. I'm sitting in my house. Are you? Because according to this document, you signed over rights to Jasper Bradley 6 months ago. Power of attorney, all legal. Power of attorney, forged documents, of course. Whatever you have is fake. Maybe, maybe not. Tell you what, how about we meet, talk this through? I'm not meeting with you. Then I'll meet with Jasper instead, and Jasper's options for paying me are getting limited. You understand what I'm saying? Are you threatening me? I'm explaining reality. Jasper owes me money. If he can't pay, I collect the collateral, one way or another. The call ended. At 10:30 p.m., my phone buzzed. Text. Check your front porch. I looked at the camera feed. Small cardboard box on my welcome mat. I called 911 again. Bomb squad. Detective Chen. 30 minutes of anxiety. Not a bomb, just a photograph. My house. Taken from across the street. Written on the back in Sharpie. You took everything from me. Now, I'll take everything from you. Starting with what you love most. Below that, ask Wesley if he's made it to his hotel yet. Wesley, flying down tomorrow morning, checking into his Seattle Airport's hotel tonight. I dialed his cell, straight to voicemail. Again, voicemail, third time, voicemail. Wesley, call me immediately. Don't go to your hotel. Don't follow your usual routine. Call me now. Detective Chen was already on her radio. I need Seattle PD for a welfare check, possibly urgent. My phone finally rang. Dad, what's wrong? I was in the shower. Where are you right now? Airport Marriott. Why? Which room? 512. Dad, you're scaring me. Don't open your door for anyone. I'm calling Seattle police. There's a credible threat. Threat? What kind of threat? I looked at the photograph in the evidence bag. The kind that means this isn't just about money anymore. It's about revenge. And Jasper Bradley knows exactly how to hurt me. Wesley's flight landed at noon. I picked him up with a police escort, Detective Chen insisted, given Jasper's threats. My son looked older than 6 months ago. Stress does that. Dad, he hugged me hard. Jesus, are you okay? I'm fine. You're the one who was threatened. Seattle PD said the threat was credible. Something about a loan shark? Carl Mendez. Jasper owes him $68,000. He's using intimidation tactics. Wesley looked at the patrol car following us. This is insane. This is my sister we're talking about. How did it get here? One slap at a time, one lie, one manipulation. It accumulated. Where is she now? Hiding in a motel. Jasper's missing, and I'm meeting her in 2 hours. The hell you are. Not without me. Back home, I showed Wesley the security footage I planned to present to Fern. Guest bedroom, 3 weeks ago. Jasper and Wilma, Fern's half-sister from my first marriage. Intimate planning. Wesley's face went pale. Dad, is that Wilma? Our Wilma. Your half-sister, yes. On screen, Jasper's voice. Fern doesn't need to know anything until after the sale. She'll be upset, but she'll get over it. She always does. Wesley's expression hardened. He's been using her, using all of us. Yes. And you're going to show Fern this? At the restaurant? She needs to see who she married, who she chose over her family. Dad, this will destroy her. I met his eyes. She destroyed herself. I'm just showing her the mirror. Marina Jack at 2 p.m., waterfront restaurant, windows facing the bay, Saturday lunch crowd, safe, public, witnessed. Fern arrived looking worse than yesterday. Thinner, dark circles, hands trembling. She saw Wesley and new tears started. Wes, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry for everything. Wesley's voice was cold. Are you sorry? Or are you sorry you got caught? She ignored him, focused on me. Dad, I know I messed up. The slap, the pressure about the house. I was wrong. Jasper was pushing me, controlling everything, and I lost myself. Where is Jasper now? I don't know. He disappeared after the police came. He hit me, Dad, just like I hit you. We're both victims here. I raised an eyebrow. Both victims? Yes. He manipulated me, lied about money, got us into this mess. I'm as much a victim as you are. Wesley scoffed. Except Dad didn't slap anyone. She shifted tactics, leaning forward. Dad, if you could help me, just with the debt. I owe $230,000 from the boutique. If you could loan me, I'm not loaning you money, Fern. Then co-sign a consolidation loan, just your signature, no money up front. No. Her voice rose. Why not? You have the house. You have savings. I'm drowning here. You made choices that led to drowning. I'm not jumping in after you. She changed tactics again, softer now. Okay, I understand. But what if we could start over? Clean slate? I'll drop the whole thing. The police report, the DCF investigation. I'll tell them it was a misunderstanding. We can forget the slap ever happened. I kept my voice very quiet. Forget it happened? Yes, we were both emotional. Family fight that got out of hand. We move forward, together, like families should. Fern, do you even understand what you did? Setting aside the slap, do you understand the manipulation, the lies, the attempt to steal my home? She looked down. I was desperate. So you think desperation justifies betrayal? No, but here's what I think. I think you're still trying to manipulate me, right now. This performance, the tears, the apologies, the bargaining, it's all strategy. You haven't changed, you've just changed tactics. I pulled out my tablet. Before I leave, I want you to see something. Her face went wary. What is it? Security footage from my house, legally installed in common areas and guest spaces. I pressed play. Jasper and Wilma. Guest bedroom. His hands on her waist, their voices clear. Jasper. Once we sell the house, you get your 20% and disappear back to Atlanta. Wilma. And Fern? Jasper. What about her? She's useful until she's not. After the sale, I'll divorce her, split assets, pay you your cut. Easy. Fern's face drained completely white. That's Wilma, my sister. 3 weeks ago, while you were grocery shopping. He's been with Wilma, my sister? Wesley leaned forward. Your sister who you haven't seen in 6 months. Your sister who Jasper conveniently reconnected with last year. You knew all this time? I discovered it yesterday. I was saving it. For what? For this moment, when you tried to manipulate me one more time, so you could see clearly who you've been defending. She was crying fully now, real tears, no performance. Dad, please, help me. I have nothing, no money, no home, no husband apparently. I stood, slid Florence Dunn's business card across the table. Here's my help. Florence Dunn, attorney. She handles divorces. Call her. Everything else, the debt, the consequences, the life you need to rebuild, that's yours to figure out. She grabbed my arm. Dad, don't leave me like this. I removed her hand gently. You left yourself like this, Fern. Every choice, every lie. You built this cage. Now you live in it until you find your own way out. Wesley and I walked past a nearby table. 2 women whispering, Isn't that Thaddeus Hawkins, the circus trainer? That's his daughter crying. I heard about the domestic violence thing. Poor man, some children just turn out wrong. We drove home in silence, stopped at a red light. I watched a young father cross the street with his daughter, maybe 6, holding hands. Was I too harsh? Wesley turned. What? With your sister, just now, showing her that footage, walking away while she cried. Was that too harsh? Do you think it was? I don't know anymore. This isn't a tiger, Wesley. This is my daughter, and I just left her broken in a public restaurant. She hit you, Dad. I know, but she's also... I trailed off. I remember teaching her to swim. She was terrified of deep water, clung to me like a barnacle, but I stayed patient, and eventually she swam on her own. She was so proud. Dad, what if she's just scared and I should stay patient? Keep encouraging rather than punishing. Wesley was quiet. Then, Dad, that little girl who was afraid of swimming, she trusted you. She listened to you. She wanted to overcome her fear. The woman we just left, she tried to manipulate you 5 minutes after crying. She's not scared of deep water. She's angry she can't control the ocean anymore. The light turned green. I drove. When did you get so wise? I had a good teacher. At 4 p.m., my phone rang. Florence. Tad, we have a problem, a big one. What kind? Jasper surfaced. He came to my office with a document, a power of attorney dated 2010, signed by you, giving Fern authority to make financial decisions on your behalf. My stomach dropped. That was for my shoulder surgery. I needed someone to sign hospital paperwork if I was under anesthesia. I know, and normally these expire after the specific event. But Tad, you never formally revoked it. It's been 15 years. Doesn't matter. In Florida, a durable power of attorney remains valid until explicitly revoked. You're alive, and there's no revocation on file. I sat down hard. He's going to use it to sell the house. He's already started. Filed preliminary paperwork claiming Fern is acting as your legal representative due to your declining mental capacity. That's insane. I know, but he has a document with your signature, and he's arguing that your recent behavior, DCF investigation, police reports, newspaper article, paranoia about loan sharks, demonstrates you're not thinking clearly. Wesley hearing one side, Dad, what's wrong? I covered the phone. Jasper found a 15-year-old power of attorney I never revoked. He's trying to sell the house using Fern's authorization. Florence continued. He's already found a buyer. Cash offer, quick close, 72 hours. 3 days? Emergency court hearing, Monday morning. I'll file for immediate POA revocation, but if the sale completes before we get a hearing, then I lose my house. Silence. Wesley pulled out his laptop. Where is Fern right now? Because 2 hours ago, she was sobbing after discovering her husband's betrayal. You think she's going to cooperate with selling your house to pay off his debts? I looked at him. She doesn't know about the POA yet. Florence, if Fern refuses to act as your attorney in fact, if she revokes her own authorization, the whole thing collapses. Wesley, so we tell her. We show her what Jasper's doing, give her one chance to do the right thing. Can I legally contact Fern? Given the restraining order? Florence, the restraining order is mutual, but if she contacts you, you can respond. Or you could have someone else contact her, a third party. Wesley, I'll do it. I'm her brother. No restraining order against me. He dialed. Put it on speaker. 4 rings. Then, Wes? Fern, I need you to listen very carefully. Jasper found a power of attorney from 2010. He's trying to sell Dad's house using your legal authorization. The sale closes in 72 hours. Silence. Then, he what? He's selling the house, under your name. If it goes through, Dad loses everything, and you'll be legally responsible. More silence. When she spoke again, her voice was different, colder. Where is Jasper right now? We don't know. Do you know where the buyer is, the paperwork? Wesley looked at me. I nodded. Florence has details. The real estate attorney's office on Main Street. Why? Because I'm done being used. I'm done being manipulated. And I'm done with Jasper Bradley. She hung up. My phone buzzed. Text from Fern. What's the real estate attorney's name and address? I'm going there now. Then another. Dad, I'm still not forgiven. I know that. But nobody steals from my family except me. And I already failed at that. Wesley read over my shoulder. Is she... making a joke? I think your sister just found her spine. 30 minutes later, Fern called. Dad, I'm at the real estate attorney's office. Jasper's not here, but his paperwork is. And Dad? Her voice cracked. He forged my signature on half these documents. I never authorized any of this. Are you sure? I'm looking at my own signature. It's wrong. The loop on the F is off. Dad, he forged it. Can you prove it? The attorney wants a real signature sample. And Dad, they're calling the police. Jasper committed fraud. Good. I'll call you when I'm done here. She hung up. Wesley? Do you believe her? I watched the sunset over Sarasota Bay, the same view I'd had for 36 years. I believe she's finally hit bottom, and when you hit bottom, you either stay there or start climbing. My phone buzzed. Unknown number. You think you won? I still have Carl Mendez. I still have leverage. By Monday morning, you'll understand what that means. Sleep well, old man. It's your last weekend in that house one way or another. I showed Wesley. It's Jasper. He knows Fern betrayed him. So, what does he do now? I thought about cornered predators, about desperate men. That's what worries me. Men without options are the most dangerous kind. Saturday morning, 7:15 a.m. My doorbell rang. Fern stood on my porch looking worse than yesterday, but determined. She held documents. Dad, I need to tell you something. Wilma called me last night. I kept my hand on the door. Why would she call you? Because Jasper threatened her. He told her if she doesn't help him fix things, Carl Mendez will come after her family. Wesley appeared behind me. What does fix things mean? I don't know, but he wants to meet her this morning, Ringling Causeway, at 10 a.m. Could be a trap, for you, for us. Fern met my eyes. Probably. But if he's planning something, another fraud, hurting Wilma, shouldn't police know? I studied her. You're actually concerned about Wilma, the woman who slept with your husband? She's still my sister, stupid, greedy, but my sister. And Jasper used her like he used me. Wesley said quietly, That's surprisingly mature. Fern laughed bitterly. Rock bottom teaches fast lessons. Detective Chen arrived at 8 a.m. We coordinated surveillance at Ringling Causeway. She called Wilma, offered protection and immunity if she cooperated. Will you be there? Chen asked Fern. At the meeting? Jasper expects me. He probably told Wilma to tell me specifically. Why? Because he thinks he can manipulate me one more time. Get me emotional, get me to do something stupid he can record. I looked at her. Can you stay calm, not engage? She met my gaze. I slapped my father, tried to steal his house, and let a con artist ruin my life. I think I can handle not taking Jasper's bait. By 9:45 a.m., we were positioned at Ringling Causeway. Wesley, Lemuel, who'd brought ice cream from a food truck, and me, 50 yards from the actual meeting spot. Plainclothes officers scattered throughout the park. Saturday morning joggers, families with kids, beautiful waterfront. Jasper arrived first at 10:02 a.m., then Wilma, nervous and pale, then Fern, walking across the grass toward them. Jasper shifted into charm mode immediately. Fern, thank God, we need to talk, all three of us, figure out how to fix this mess. The mess you created. The mess we're all in. Fern, I know you're hurt. I know I made mistakes. Mistakes? You slept with my sister. You forged my signature. You tried to steal my father's house. He stage whispered to Wilma, See, she's unstable, just like I told you. Wilma trembled. Jasper, she has a right to be angry. Wilma, remember what we discussed. If we stick together, we can still fix this. He was good, actually good. For about 90 seconds, watching from distance, I thought he might pull it off. His body language confident, Fern looking smaller, Wilma shaking. Then Wilma broke. I can't do this anymore. Jasper turned, annoyed. Wilma, I can't. Jasper, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, Fern, but I can't. She opened her jacket, showed the wire taped to her chest. The police offered me immunity. They said if I testified about the fraud, I wouldn't go to jail. Jasper, they know. They know about all of it. Jasper's face went white. You're wearing a wire? They're here, right now, listening to everything. He spun, looking around, saw plainclothes officers approaching from 3 directions. You set this up! He screamed at Fern. No, Wilma set it up. I just agreed to show up. You bitch! You... An officer approached. Jasper Bradley, you're under arrest. No, this is entrapment. Police entrapment. Sir, put your hands where I can see them. This is all Thaddeus Hawkins. He orchestrated this. He's been manipulating everyone. I'm the victim here. Detective Chen arrived. Mr. Bradley, we also need to talk about the items in your vehicle. 5 gallons of gasoline, matches, a note about insurance covering fire damage. His face went wild. You were planning arson, Mr. Bradley. I was protecting myself. Carl Mendez was going to kill me. So you were going to burn down an occupied residence? It wouldn't be occupied. I'd make sure everyone was out. He realized what he'd just admitted. I want a lawyer. I'm not saying anything else. Then he saw me, Wesley, and Lemuel standing 50 yards away. His eyes went manic. You! He screamed across the distance. This is your fault! You should have just signed the papers. Now everybody loses. I said quietly to Wesley. No, just you. Jasper lunged toward us. Officers restrained him. Crowd of Saturday morning people pulled out phones, filming everything. A jogger said to her companion, "Is that the gambling guy from the newspaper?" "Yeah, and that's the dad he tried to scam, Hawkins, the circus trainer." A father held up his phone, recording. "This is insane. This is going straight on Facebook." Lemuel handed me an ice cream cone, mint chocolate chip. "This is better than Netflix," he said. He wasn't wrong, though I noticed Wesley was recording everything too, for posterity or evidence, probably both. They loaded Jasper into a police car. He was hyperventilating, sweating, nearly vomiting. One officer paused, asked if he needed medical attention. Jasper screamed that Carl Mendez would kill him in jail. The officers looked at each other, shrugged. One said, "Then you should probably pay your debts on time." Practical advice. After giving statements at the police station, we returned home around 6 p.m., ordered pizza, sat on the back porch watching sunset. Wesley's phone rang. Unknown number. He answered on speaker. "Wesley Hawkins?" "Yes." "My name is Carl Mendez. We need to talk about the money your father's son-in-law owes me." I went very still. "Wesley, Jasper was arrested today. If he owes you money, that's between you and him." Carl chuckled. "See, that's where you're wrong. When someone uses collateral to borrow from me, and that collateral becomes unavailable, I collect from associated parties. We're not associated parties. Your sister signed documents, your father's house was listed. That makes you associated." I took the phone. "This is Thaddeus Hawkins. The documents Jasper gave you are fraudulent." "Maybe, maybe not. But, Mr. Hawkins, I'm a businessman. I loaned $47,000 in good faith. If that documentation was fraudulent, that's unfortunate. But my money doesn't unspend itself. Take it up with Jasper." I would, but he's currently enjoying county hospitality. Which leaves me with a problem. I'm out $47,000 plus interest. Someone needs to make me whole. That's not my problem. It is if you want your house to remain unburned. Silence. "Are you threatening arson?" "I'm explaining reality. Jasper planned to burn your house for insurance money. He told me about it. Well, guess what? We're at Plan B now, except this time, I'm the one with the matches. The police can't prove anything, but let me be clear. I don't want violence. I want money, $68,000, principal plus interest. I'm not paying you a cent. Then we have a problem, because I know where your son works, Seattle Aquarium, right? I also know where your daughter is staying, Bayfront Inn, room 237, and I know your address." My blood ran cold. "You stay away from my children. Pay me my money, and I won't have to go near them. You have until Monday morning. Bring cash to Centennial Park, 10 a.m., or I start collecting in other ways." The line went dead. I called Detective Chen immediately. "We can't arrest him for a phone call. He didn't make specific threats. He mentioned my children by name, their locations. I know, I'll request increased patrols, but without explicit threats or evidence of intent." I hung up. My phone buzzed. Text from Fern. "Dad, someone's following me. Black SUV." I called her. "Fern, where are you?" "Heading toward the police station." "Good. Go there. Don't stop anywhere else." "Dad, I'm scared." "I know. Just get to the station." Florence called next. "Tad, I just got a call from Carl Mendez's attorney. They're threatening to file a civil suit for $68,000 plus punitive damages." "That's insane. It's also expensive to defend. Even if you win, legal fees could be $30,000. He knows this." "What do I do?" Honestly, I don't know. This might be federal, loan sharking, extortion, but that takes time. Meanwhile, you're exposed. My phone buzzed. Text from unknown number. Photo attached. My house. Taken from across the street. Tonight. Within the last hour. Caption. Monday. 10 a.m. Centennial Park. $68,000. Or this view won't be nearly as pretty. I walked to the edge of my porch, looked across the street. A black SUV was parked 4 houses down. Tinted windows, engine running. I stared at it. The headlights flashed once. Then it drove away slowly, deliberately. Detective Chen's patrol car pulled up minutes later. We got a report of suspicious vehicle. It's gone now, but it was here. They photographed my house. Inside, I locked all doors, checked all windows. 48 hours ago, this was about justice, about consequences, about protecting my home. Now it was about survival. And Monday morning was 36 hours away. Sunday morning, 6:30 a.m. My phone rang. Carl Mendez's attorney, voice smooth as oil. Mr. Hawkins, my client is prepared to make a final offer. $68,000 cash by Monday's a.m., or we file lawsuit and pursue other collection methods. Other collection methods? Mr. Mendez is a businessman. He collects debts through available channels. I hung up, sat at my kitchen table with coffee that tasted like ash. Wesley still asleep on the couch. For the first time in weeks, I felt genuinely trapped. Lemuel arrived at 7 a.m. I'd called him at dawn. Tad, what if the house wasn't yours anymore? I looked up. What do you mean? Gift it to Wesley, right now, today. If you don't own it, Mendez can't collect it. Wesley woke up hearing this. Dad, you can't give me your house. I turned to him. Can I legally gift my house to my son? Florence on speakerphone. Yes. Gift deed, no consideration required. But Tad, you understand what you're proposing? You'd no longer own your home. But it would stay in the family, and Mendez couldn't touch it. Wesley stood. Dad, no. This is your house. You've lived here 36 years. I met his eyes. And I'd like to live here 36 more. But not if it means you or Fern getting hurt by a loan shark. Wesley, this house is just wood and concrete. You're my son. Priority is clear. Florence, if we do this, we need to move fast. File the deed today, register tomorrow morning. Then let's move. By 2 p.m., we sat in a notary's office. The paperwork spread before us. Notary, you're gifting property valued at approximately $850,000 with no compensation? Correct. I'm required to ask, are you under any duress? I smiled slightly. Only the pressure of being a father who protects his children. Is that duress? That's actually the opposite. Sign here, here, and here. Wesley's pen hesitated. Dad, last chance to back out. Sign it, son. I'm not backing out. We signed. Lemuel whistled low. That's the most expensive gift I've ever witnessed. Makes my birthday presents look pathetic. Send me a fruitcake next year. We'll call it even. Monday morning, 8:47 a.m. Florence called. It's registered. Wesley legally owns the house as of 8:47 this morning. At 10:15 a.m., my doorbell rang. 2 large men in dark suits. Thaddeus Hawkins? That's me. We're here on behalf of Carl Mendez. You missed your meeting this morning. I had other priorities. The second man. Mr. Mendez doesn't appreciate being stood up. You owe him $68,000. I owe him nothing. Jasper Bradley owed him money. Jasper's in jail. Your property was listed as collateral. That makes it our property now. I stepped aside, revealing Wesley. Interesting theory. There's a problem, though. What problem? I don't own this property anymore. My son does. As of 8:47 this morning. The first man's face went confused. What are you talking about? Wesley held up the document. Gift deed, registered with Sarasota County Clerk's Office. I'm the legal owner of this property. You can't just transfer property to avoid debts. I can transfer my property to anyone I want, for any reason. It's called a gift. Parents give their children gifts. It's traditional. The first man pulled out his phone. I need to call Mr. Mendez. Tell him the house isn't mine to use as collateral, payment, or anything else. It's Wesley's. If Mr. Mendez has issues with Jasper's debt, he can take it up with Jasper in county jail. The second man stepped forward, threatening. "You think you're clever, old man?" Detective Chen entered from the driveway. "I think he's within his legal rights, and I think you two are about 30 seconds away from threatening an elderly man on his own property." The first man recognized police. "We're not threatening anyone." A conversation that's being recorded, both by Mr. Hawkins' security cameras and by my body camera. So, let's keep it civil. The second man's voice dropped low. "This isn't over." I kept my voice calm. "Actually, it is. You can leave now, or Detective Chen can escort you. Your choice." They left. Wesley was shaking slightly. "That was intense, yes?" Detective Chen. "Mr. Hawkins, I'm opening a formal investigation into Carl Mendez for extortion. Those two just gave me enough for a warrant. Will it stick? Maybe, maybe not, but it'll make his life difficult." "Wesley, so it's over? Really over?" I looked at my house, Wesley's house now. "One way or another." An hour later, Fern's Honda pulled into the driveway. She stood on the lawn, watching Wesley hold the deed. "You gave him the house." I stepped onto the porch. "I protected the house. There's a difference. I tried to steal it, and you gave it away to keep it safe." "Yes, that's what a father does. Protects his family even when it costs him everything." "It didn't cost me everything, Fern. It cost me ownership of wood and shingles. I still live here. Wesley's not evicting me." Wesley called from the doorway. "Never!" Fern's voice broke. "I'm so sorry, Dad. I'm so sorry. I know, but sorry isn't enough yet." I walked out to the lawn, stood before her. "Fern, I want you to understand something clearly. I didn't do any of this to punish you. I did it to protect myself and Wesley from being used and discarded. You made choices, to hit me, to manipulate me, to try to take my home. Those were your choices. The consequences are yours too." She nodded, crying silently. "I gave up legal ownership of my house today. Not because of you directly, but because your choice of husband, your choice to defend him, your choice to participate in his schemes. Those choices created a cascade that ended with a loan shark threatening my family. So when you say you're sorry, I believe you feel sorry. But I need you to understand. Sorry doesn't undo the damage. Sorry doesn't restore what was broken. Sorry is just the first step of a very long journey. What do? You rebuild yourself, not for me, not for Wesley, for you. You get therapy, you pay your debts honestly, you live with integrity, and maybe someday we can talk about forgiveness. But not today, not this month, possibly not this year. How long? As long as it takes for you to become someone I can trust again. And Fern, you'll know when that happens, because you won't need to ask." I walked back toward the house. She called after me. "Dad, do you think I'll ever get there?" I paused. "I think you'll get to the place where you forgive yourself. That's more important. Whether I forgive you, we'll see. Time will tell." Inside, Wesley hugged me hard. "You gave up your house." I hugged back, looking around my living room. Same furniture, same walls, same view of the bay, everything the same, everything different. "No, I gave you my house. I gave up ownership. But this is still my home. Unless you're planning to kick me out." Wesley laughed through tears. "Never. You're stuck here, forever." "Good." But through the window, I watched Fern standing alone on the lawn and felt it. The price of victory. I'd won, saved my home, protected my family, exposed the truth. But some things, once broken, stay broken. 1 week later, dawn on my back porch. This became my ritual. Coffee, sunrise over Sarasota Bay, silence. Wesley flew back to Seattle 3 days ago. The house felt too quiet. At 9 a.m., my doorbell rang, Fern's Honda in the driveway. She sat on the edge of my couch, the same couch she and Jasper occupied for 6 months. I sat in my armchair, maintaining distance. No coffee offered. "Dad, I know you told me to rebuild myself first, but I need you to hear this. While I still have the courage." I nodded, didn't speak. "I was a monster, not in some dramatic way, in 1,000 small ways. Every time I chose Jasper over you, every time I justified taking from you, I became everything I hate." Her voice cracked, but she didn't stop. "When I was 8, after your shoulder injury, I took care of you for 3 weeks. I made you breakfast. helped you button shirts because your arm was in a sling. I swore I would always take care of you. Then somewhere along the way, I forgot you're not just dad. You're a person. And by the time I remembered, I'd already hit you, already tried to steal from you. She pulled an envelope from her purse, set it on the coffee table. That's $500, first payment toward $230,000. I got a job, minimum wage at an animal shelter. It'll take me 20 years, but I'm starting. I'm also seeing a therapist, Dr. Martinez, twice a week. And I filed for divorce. She stood. That's all I came to say, that I'm sorry, that I'm trying, and that I miss my dad. I walked to the window, looked out at the bay, finally turned. Fern, sit down. She sat. I will forgive you, but not today, not after one payment and one apology. Forgiveness isn't a light switch. I understand. Do you? The Fern I raised, the one who took care of me, who loved animals, she didn't disappear. She got buried under bad choices. If you want to find her again, you have to dig, and it's going to hurt. I know. Here's what I'll offer. I'll accept your payments, all $230,000 worth. But not as punishment, as investment. You're investing in your own integrity. Thank you. I'll also check in, once a month, a phone call. You tell me how you're doing. I won't be warm. I won't be the dad you remember. But I'll listen. That's more than I deserve. It's exactly what you deserve. A chance, not reconciliation. Just a chance to prove you can change. I picked up the envelope, held it. And Fern, when you become that person, the one who took care of me, who loved without conditions, we'll talk about forgiveness. Real forgiveness. That's the goal. Can you accept that? She stood, nodded. Yes. Good. Now go. You have work to do. So do I. At the door, she paused. Dad, do you think I'll ever get there? I considered. I think you'll get to the place where you forgive yourself. That's more important. Whether I forgive you, we'll see. She left. I sat holding the envelope. $500, first of 460 payments. 20 years if she never missed one. I hoped she'd make it, but I didn't know if she would. 1 month later, Wesley called. Dad, Fern sent me a letter too. She's still working at the shelter. Yes, she sent a photo, with a dog she's training. Will you give her a chance? I looked at the photo. I already am. Monthly calls, accepting payments, reading her letters, that's the chance. But will you forgive her, eventually? Maybe, in a year or two. She has to earn it, Wesley, truly earn it. And if she does, then maybe I'll have my daughter back, the real one. I hope so, Dad. So do I, son. 6 weeks after everything ended, I established routines. Morning coffee on the porch, beach walks, Wednesday lunches with Lemuel, Sunday evenings teaching magic tricks to Emma, my neighbor's 6-year-old daughter. Mr. Hawkins, make the coin disappear. I performed the trick. Watch closely. The secret is in the distraction. She gasped as the coin vanished. Where did it go? That's the magic. It's there the whole time. You just have to know where to look. Emma's mother collected her. Say thank you, Emma. Thank you. Same time next week? Every Sunday. Deal? Deal. They left. I sat alone on the porch watching sunset paint, the bay gold and orange. The house stood. Legally Wesley's now, but still my home. The threats were gone. Justice was served. Jasper faced years in prison. Fern was rebuilding herself maybe. I'd won. But sitting there in the empty evening, I counted the cost. Legal ownership of my home, gone, transferred to my son. The easy trust with my daughter, fractured, possibly forever. 6 months of peace, stolen by crisis. $20,000 in legal fees, security I'd taken for granted, replaced with cameras and vigilance. Some nights I passed the empty chair where Fern used to sit and felt the hollow ache of victory. 18 months later, a letter arrived, handwritten, Fern's careful script. Dad, I've made my 18th payment, $9,000 total, only $221,000 to go. The shelter promoted me. I'm head dog trainer now. They said I have a natural gift for understanding animal behavior and building trust through consistent boundaries. I laughed. Of course I do. My father taught me. I'm 3 months into a healthy relationship. David's a veterinarian. He knows everything about my past, the divorce, the debts, what I did to you. I told him on our second date because I refuse to build anything on lies again. Dr. Martinez says I'm ready to rebuild family relationships if you're willing, but I can't rush you. You'll let me know when you're ready. Dad, I need you to know I found her, that 8-year-old girl who took care of you. She was buried deep, but I dug, like you said I would have to, and it hurt. But she's here now. I'm not ashamed anymore, not proud yet. I have 16 more years of payments, a lifetime of proving I've changed, but I'm not ashamed. I'll call next month as usual, but if you're ever ready to meet, not for forgiveness, just to meet, I'm here. Love, Fern. P.S. I've included a photo. That's me with Phoenix, a rescue dog so traumatized he wouldn't let anyone touch him. 3 months of patient work. He trusts me now. I learned that from the best. I read it twice, looked at the photo. Fern, healthier than I'd seen her in years, smiling genuinely beside a German shepherd who looked at her with complete trust. I called Wesley. She sent you a letter too? Yes. What do you think? I studied the photo again. I think in 6 months we'll have coffee, somewhere public, 30 minutes, we'll see how it goes. That's progress, Dad. It's a start, just a start. I pinned the photo to my refrigerator corner, where I'd see it with morning coffee, then to the porch where Emma waited. Mr. Hawkins, you're late. Sorry, Emma, I was reading a letter from someone learning real magic. What kind? The hardest kind. The magic of becoming who you're supposed to be. I performed the coin trick, but my mind was elsewhere, on coffee in 6 months, on 18 payments down, 442 to go, on a daughter who might, just might, actually make it back. The sun set over Sarasota Bay. I sat on the porch, technically Wesley's porch now, and allowed myself something I hadn't permitted in 2 years. Hope. Cautious, conditional, earned hope. I won. Saved what mattered. But some nights, watching the empty chair, I wondered if victory was worth the price. Then Wesley called, or Emma laughed, or the sun set over water I still got to see. And I thought, maybe it was. The bay stretched out before me, endless and clean. I breathed it in, all of it. If you like this story, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share your impressions of this story in the comments. To listen to the next story, click on the box on the left. Thank you for watching.